G'day guys, Dave here from Old Rigs Down Under. Welcome to the latest video, or the latest public service announcement, whichever way you want to view it. First and foremost, I just want to apologise for the lack of content over the last week or so. I've had a lot of problem with internet service and data speed, which has made it impossible to upload any videos. I can't even access all my saved material from the iCloud at the moment. It's just bloody hopeless. So, something I'm working on at the moment. Going to try another service provider this week coming. But as for now, just going to try and bring you a short video that's fresh off the press, very little editing that hasn't gone anywhere near storage, and just see if that can work. Look, we're in a direct line of sight here with the tower, and I know you can't see that, but I can. And there shouldn't be a problem here. There wasn't a problem up until a week or so ago, or say 2 weeks ago. I just noticed on the last video that I did put together, the one on hauling the Hume, it was just a little bit slow, but it was still okay. And that video was made up of probably 20 different segments that were all edited together. And it took a little bit of time, but it was still, still easy to work with. Now, a video, just to try and upload it into the editing program, it'll get about 20% of the way in, and that takes half an hour. And then it'll tell you that it's not supported. So it's definitely a first world problem as a content creator, but yeah, just very frustrating. And I do apologise to you guys, and also thank you at the same time for your patience. And yeah, hopefully I can get something out to you soon. Hopefully this video works. And yeah, either way, with a little bit of maybe a new Starlink connection or something this week, might be able to have something done. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, there's some good stuff coming up. The road to Rocklea, which is going to be happening in a couple of weeks' time, or just short of 2 weeks. Pretty excited about that. Got the owner-driver series coming your way as well, which is just a focus on people in their trucks, something just a little bit different from the stuff that I normally do. And just, of course, the day-to-day goings on here with a couple of trucks around here, a couple of project trucks, a couple of Willet starts, all those sorts of things. So stick with it and we'll get there. Just a little bit of a road bump. All my life as a mechanic, particularly working by myself for the last 10 years or so, or 15 years, have to find a way to overcome things. So if a problem's presented, just got to find a way to get around it. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, and hopefully, like I said, in the next week or so, we can get the whole show back on the road a bit better. As for now, I just want to show you what I've been doing to the R600. It had a little bit of a chuffing noise in it. Don't know if you picked that up on the videos or not, but as was idling, you could just hear it go ch 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 like that, just a rhythmic sound. So it sounded a bit like either a head gasket leaking externally, or maybe a compression coming up past an injector seat or something like that. Anyway, upon further inspection, found the head gasket likely to be leaking. And once I pulled the thing apart, I was able to see that break in there fairly clearly. That's at the front of number 4. So on the back head, and yeah, that's causing most of the problem. So I checked liner heights and deck flatness and everything like that. Looked okay. A couple of little cracks in the heads, like all max 6-cylinder heads, or the old 2-valve heads, cracked between the injector hole and I think the inlet valve. They all just had little cracks in there, like a single little crack across. There's not much you can do about it. You probably won't find one these days that isn't cracked like that. But anyway, the heads are sitting back on there now. I'll show you that in a minute. And yeah, we're just at a point where I'm going to start putting it all back together and maybe fire it up tomorrow or something like that. So it'll be nice to hear it run, without the chuffing sound, and might even make a little bit more power. It was pretty good before, truthfully, but you'd imagine it would have been losing quite a bit of boost, and would have effectively had a miss on one cylinder, or a part miss. So anyway, it should be a little bit better. If nothing else, it should just run a bit nicer. Just got to put some new hoses on it. Got a new compressor going on the other side. So yeah, there's a little bit happening. It's good. It's always good to do some repairs and keep an old truck going. And we're going to take it to Brisbane, and another good run for it. And that's what they need, these old rockets. So I'll just wipe that stuff off my hands and I'll lift the bonnet for you. Rightio, as you can see, let's move this camera in a little bit closer. You can see the head sitting back on there, everything a little bit cleaner. So cleaned the cool power box out, found a few goodies in the top of that too. So yeah, today I'm just putting the studs back in and get them all to go back in, and tension them down, retension them, and then start putting some rockers in and bits and pieces like that. So anyway, I'll show you a little bit more in this video, and yeah, hopefully you can just sort of start to see the R600 going back together. So I'm just going to try and get this stud off here. I'm going to try and get the remainder of these studs off, but I'll just show you. I'm going to try and get them out. So I've just got a normal nut to screw down, and it should leave about 1/2 inch or so of exposed thread up the top. I'll just wind this bloke down till it's snug. Then I'll put one of these head nuts on top of it. Let's see if we can wind him out. There, don't know if it's the whole thing spinning. No, she's coming, so that's good. That's a good start. I'll try and get them all out and clean all the thread holes out, clean all the studs up. Then once the heads go back on, can sit them back in place and put each stud down there, and then tension the nuts up on top of them. So that's not too bad. So now I'll just crack them off, use them on the next one. I reckon I nearly need to make a new set of these. They're just a little bit too short in the thread. Anyway, they'll do for today. So I've gone around and got all the, took the studs out of each head. They all came out pretty well. None of them put up too much of a fight, which was good. This one here, there might even already be a bit of head gasket hanging out the front of that. Bring it forward to that front just so it can make it a little bit easier to remove it. I just want to try and keep that front gasket intact so I can have a bit more of a look at it, to see where the head gasket's gone if there's nothing obvious on this back here. they don't get any lighter as you get older. It's just missing a piece of gasket there. Missing an entire piece coming out from the... It's obviously sitting on the head, but it's just broken away. Anyway, I think that's going to be our culprit. I'll bring the camera in there shortly. Alrighty, you can see up the end here where it's blown. So it doesn't look horrible on the head. It might clean up okay. We'll get and have a look at that block shortly. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. If we get over here to the head gasket, you can see it's just blown the gasket away. There's a piece of it there. But yeah, it's missing there, so it'll be interesting to see how that cleans up and to see how that liner, top of that liner looks there. That firing's still stuck to it with the gasket. So we'll just take a couple of photos of it all and then clean it up and see what we've got from there. You know, it's a bit of wear in those liners. I haven't felt that lip yet. You know, there's still a bit of crosshatch pattern on them. And you know, we're starting and doing everything right, so if we don't have to pull the bottom end apart, we won't. But yeah, just be interested to see how that bit comes up, because it does look a bit nasty. All right, just giving this thing a little bit of a clean up here. It's not coming up too badly. There's no real lip on the liners, it's pretty good. There's a bit of a ridge along here where that gasket is sort of etched or possibly just fretted slightly into it. I think it'll probably be okay, but I'll just put a straight edge across it later. I haven't measured the firing area yet, the lip on that liner where the firing comes and seals down over the top of it. So that's something I'll do once it's all cleaned up. I'll get into that back section now. But yeah, just the most tedious part of the job, just clean it, then we'll blow out all the stud holes and get covered in rubbish and all the rest of it, petrol it all down and blow it all out again and wipe it down. We just want it all looking really good so I can inspect it. So as you can see on the top here, it's all these little pieces of steel in it, or alloy I suppose. These are the other bits that came off it. So yeah, obviously that turbo's flown to bits at some point and come over through the cool power, like through the intake pipe, and of course with the cool power box, like I've mentioned on a previous video. This air going this way goes through the engine, and the air coming from here and out here is the air that's blown through the air intake by the tip turbine fan, which just cools the engine air. There is actually a sticker on this one. Which shows your turbocharged airflow and your cooling airflow. So yeah, we'll give that a good clean out, blow it all out, tip it upside down, get all the rubbish out of it. Anyway, cleaning's usually the longest part of the job, but anyway, that's where you see what's gone wrong. Okay, I got this deck surface cleaned up here, and it doesn't look too bad. I've put a straight edge across from a couple of points here, and tried to get a feeler gauge in underneath them here just to see if there's any wear in that deck, and I couldn't even get a 0.15 there feeler gauge in there, so it looks worse than what it is. Where that ledge is on the liner, I put a dial gauge on there and just measured between there and the deck surface, and it's still within spec, so I reckon we should be right to go. There's no lip on those liners. Ideally it would be nice to remove the engine from the truck, clean the surface right up and start again, but I think it'll be okay. So clean these heads up and we'll put them on. So I've got the rear head setting on and the gasket on the front one with the head ready to go on. Got it resting on some cardboard there. Now I'll just lift it on, bit of a gut bust for a few seconds and plonk it on. So all clean, all the stud holes are clean. So I'll just wind all the studs in after this, tension it down.